Another ghost story. The 5th Street house ghost resides at a house located 552 5th Street in Camden, New Jersey, which is part of town which is suggested to be avoided, especially at night. Even today, it is a depressing area due to the many industrial buildings. Not like in the 1920s, when prohibition was king and some very wealthy, if not respectable people lived here. The house was a grey, conservative-looking stone building with 3 stories and a backyard. The rooms are railroad flats, that is, they run from one end to the other end, and if you wanted to get to the rear of the house, you would have to enter at the front and walk through several rooms to get there. The Martin family, consisting of a father, Mother Edna, and 2 daughters, moved into one of these flats and soon noticed peculiar sounds, such as the noise of rustling silk and the swish of a dress when no one was there. On one occasion, when Edna was having a quiet evening at home, when she heard someone come up the stairs and enter the middle bedroom, and of course there was no one there. Also a sigh was heard, and the bed springs squeaked, as though someone had lain down on the bed. Edna left the room. In time, Mr. and Mrs. Martin and their married daughters with their husbands and children all shared the house, and in the ongoing pandemonium noises, if they occurred, could not be heard. A little later, the noises started again, as Edna came home one night and undressed, throwing her clothes on the bed. Someone in the bed let out a deep sigh, and turned over as if half wakened from a deep sleep. Another time, a friend of one daughter was lying on the floor, when she reported that someone had kicked the sole of her shoe. Once the girls were sitting on the bed when their attention was drawn to the foot of the bed, and there, wriggling about 5 inches into the night air, was a greenish thing that materialized out of nowhere and then vanished. At one time, a male visitor was sleeping on a downstairs couch when he heard the heavy front door open and then the vestibule door open. Assuming it was a burglar, he went to confront this person and then inexplicably heard a bell ringing, a bell that was locked within a case. This unnerved the man and he left the house immediately. Later, when Edna and her male visitor noticed the door move under unseen forces, a door that could not be forced open by human hands. Edna and her husband moved to the Middle East, leaving the house to the daughters, husbands, and children, but returned some time later for a visit in which nothing paranormal happened. Edna, who is now a divorcee, really realized that her family home held a secret that somehow defied rational explanation. Her logical mind could not accept any other, and yet she could not find any answers to the eerie phenomena that had evidently never ceased. She began to wonder that if there was a ghostly presence, could she help it to move on? An incident happened in the basement when a friend opened some old trunks and was inspecting the contents. An apparition appeared, had the shape of a human figure, but was more like a swirling mass with 2 glowing eyes. The friend was overwhelmed and reported barely making her way back to the stairs. Edna and all soon moved out of the house. A medium who visited the house reported seeing a woman on the stairs who had fallen to her death on the stairs, as well as the ghost of a small boy. The house is now empty, but it is likely the woman and the boy are still there. The end.